Hi, this is Dale Guiducci with ERA Credit Services. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or you come to the website eracreditservices.com very often, you know I've done a lot of videos over the years. And I'm telling you, this video right here is absolutely groundbreaking. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about credit repair law. And the most important thing is you can understand based on what's on your credit report whether those kinds of items have a high probability or a low probability of being removed through the credit repair process. I'm going to educate you. You're going to be able to make an informed decision as to whether credit repair can really benefit you. Stay tuned for this. What I'm going to do in this video is provide you with the most complete understanding of credit repair, the credit repair process in federal law, and of course an understanding of ERA Credit Services and what we and our partners provide you with our services. The first thing to note is ERA Credit Services is an award-winning agency. We've been in business since 2012. We serve all 50 states, and we'll provide you with a free credit consultation providing realistic expectations based on your credit profile. Now, what our goal here is for you to be able to watch this video and from your credit history understand what kind of items you have on your credit report and the probability of getting those items removed to do what? To increase your credit score. So first of all, you got to understand there are three general types of items that will appear on your credit report: erroneous items, obsolete items, and unverifiable items. So let's talk about, first of all, those erroneous or inaccurate items. These are items that are on your credit report that aren't listed correctly. They're not your item. Maybe they should be included in a bankruptcy but are listed separately from the bankruptcy. You've been the victim of identity theft and you have items on your credit report from the identity theft. Or there's a wrong name or social security number on your credit report. That happens all the time. The second category is obsolete items. These are items that are older than 7 years from the date of the last activity or 10 years in the case of a bankruptcy. Understand that if an item is legitimately older than 7 years, it must be removed from your credit report. It doesn't matter if you still owe it or not. The item must be, by federal law, removed from your credit report, and in many cases, it's not. Lastly, we have unverifiable items. These are items that don't fall into the first two categories. So in other words, they aren't erroneous or inaccurate. They aren't obsolete. These are accurate items that did occur within the last 7 years. But understand, creditors still have to verify the accuracy of what they've previously placed on your credit report. And in many cases, the creditor cannot. The creditor doesn't have the proper information to be able to verify the item. The creditor doesn't exist anymore, or the creditor simply does not or chooses not to respond to the credit bureau and verify the item. In that case, the item must be removed from your credit report. So how do we go about removing inaccurate, erroneous items, obsolete items, and even those unverifiable items that really did happen within the last 7 years? It's federal law. It's called the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and they outline what's called the dispute process. So let me take you through the dispute process. First of all, we identify derogatory accounts on your credit reports from all three major credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Then we draft dispute letters, again, according to the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We use appropriate legal language and dispute codes and send them to you, first of all, for signature. You review those dispute letters, sign them, attach proof of identity to prove to the credit bureau you are who you say you are, and then simply forward to each of the three credit bureaus. Once the credit bureaus receive your dispute letters, they must then contact your creditors. And this is where your creditors must validate the accuracy of what they've previously reported on your credit reports. Now understand, this is the key. Your creditors have 30 days to reply to the credit bureaus and verify that account. If they cannot, or they choose not to reply, the item must be deleted from your credit report according to federal law. Once the credit bureaus have contacted your creditors and 30 days goes by and they find out whether the creditor is going to respond or not, they are going to send you updates directly. Most of our clients see results in as little as 45 days, but to maximize results, our average client is 5 to 6 months. Why? Because we may have to dispute certain items more than once. Creditors may respond on that first round. We're going to dispute it again using different legal language, a different dispute code, and force that creditor to respond to all 3 credit bureaus again. And when we do that, a lot of times on the second or third or subsequent round, the creditor then stops replying, and therefore, according to federal law, that item must be removed. So just understand, the average client is 5 to 6 months. So let's focus on the types of derogatory items there are and maybe what you have on your credit report so you can understand the likelihood or probability that an item can be removed from your credit report. So one of the most common types of derogatory items is late payment. And with late payments, we've got to ask some questions. First of all, is the account still open and being reported to the credit bureau each month? If the answer is yes, then it's not going to be removed because, again, the creditor is reporting every 30 days, but it may be updated to reflect what we call paid as agreed, which is a very positive thing. If the account isn't still open, then the probability of removal depends on the date the account was closed. The older, the better chance of the creditor not responding to the credit bureaus. Then we've got charged off and closed accounts. These are usually accounts that are in collection status with a collection agency. Credit cards are very common in this category. The older the account, the higher chance for removal. So if the account was closed 1 year ago or less, it's a lower probability, but still we have a chance of getting that removed. 1 to 4 years, it's going to depend on the creditor. Some creditors will respond at this point, some creditors will not. And remember, these creditors are typically collection agencies in this category. If the account is 5 to 7 years old, there's going to be a much higher probability that we can get that item removed because the chances that the creditor will respond to an item that is that old is very low. Medical bills are also very common, and the older the account, the higher the probability we can get that removed. And generally speaking, medical bills have a higher probability to be removed as medical collection companies tend not to respond to disputes to the credit bureaus. Judgments, well, it really just comes down to one thing. Is the judgment satisfied? If the answer is no, it's not paid, it's not satisfied with regard to what is listed on your credit report from the court, then it's going to have a lower probability of coming off your credit report. If it has been satisfied, it's going to have a higher probability of getting removed. Tax liens, very much the same thing. Is the lien satisfied? Is it paid and satisfied? If the answer is no, lower probability to get removed. If the answer is yes, a higher probability to get removed. Student loans generally have a low probability because most student loans are backed by the federal government. Repossessions, especially in the case of an automobile, it's going to be highly dependent on the creditor and the age of the account. So as an example, a T1 creditor like Honda Finance versus a secondary lender. And once again, the older the account, the higher the probability. Bankruptcies are largely dependent upon the discharge date. In other words, the age since that bankruptcy was discharged according to the court. 1 to 3 years has a lower probability. The older it gets, 4 to 7 years, the higher the probability. And of course, 8 to 10 years gives you the highest probability. One other thing to note in terms of a bankruptcy, if you have a bankruptcy on your credit report, then note that the items that were included by your attorney in that bankruptcy should reflect included in the bankruptcy. And if they do not, it's kind of like you're having a double negative on your credit report, and we will take care of either removing those individual items or getting them updated to reflect that they were included in the bankruptcy. That alone will increase your credit score. Foreclosures and short sales. This is highly dependent upon the lender or the loan servicer. It's also highly dependent upon the time since the foreclosure or short sale. The older, the higher the probability. Child support judgments. Goes back to the same thing with other judgments and tax liens. Is this child support judgment satisfied? In other words, is it paid, and does the court see it as satisfied? If the answer is no, it's a lower probability. If the answer is yes, it's actually a very high probability that it'll get removed. Sometimes people come to us with evictions. Now, evictions are highly dependent upon the type of landlord or property management company. If it's an individual landlord or small company, it's got a very high probability of being removed. A larger property management company, however, is a lower probability. And it's also dependent upon the time since the eviction was put on your report. Once again, the older, the better. You can see that theme here. Now, with regard to any kind of negative item that's on your credit report that is legitimate and did recur within the last 7 years, there's no guarantee that item is going to come off. Why? Because your creditor has the legal right to report that on your credit report for 7 years. However, there is no item that couldn't potentially be removed. And it comes down and is all dependent upon whether the creditor responds to the credit bureaus within that 30-day time frame. So typically people have questions, and I'm going to talk about the most frequently asked questions. And the first one is, how long will it take? Well, understand, we dispute all your negative items on all 3 credit bureaus immediately. This is going to provide you the fastest possible results, again, allowed by law. And the reason why we point that out is a lot of credit repair companies don't dispute all your negative items right away. What they do is they dispute 1 or 2 items every 60 days. And it seems like they deliberately slow the process down for you, and I can only think that the only reason that they do that is they just want to charge you more monthly fees. Our goal is to get you the highest credit score possible in the quickest time frame possible. Most of our clients see positive results within 45 days. However, the average client is on service with us 4 to 6 months to see maximum results. Another question is, how much will my score increase by going through this process? Well, removing negative items certainly will increase your credit score. How much, though, is dependent upon many factors. First of all, the amount of debt you owe compared to your credit limit. That is a factor that the credit bureaus use to provide you with a credit score. The more debt you owe compared to your limit, the lower your credit score. The length of your positive credit history. If you have a long history of positive credit, your score is going to be higher. How many new credit accounts that you have. If you've opened new credit accounts and they're positive accounts, that's going to positively affect your credit score. And what types of positive credit do you have? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have a car payment? Do you have credit cards? If you have a good mix of credit, that's going to positively impact your credit score as well. But please understand, many people not only need help removing negative items, but they also need help to build more positive credit listings on their credit report to get the maximum increase in credit score. And what most people don't understand is credit repair, the removal of negative items from your credit report, only affects and helps 35% of your credit score, which is considered what? Payment history. But what about the other 65%? Other companies don't provide services to help you build the highest credit score possible based on 100% of the scoring process. We provide other services at no extra charge to help you build the highest credit score possible. You're going to get a portal that looks like this, giving you access to all the different services that I'm going to share with you here in just a minute. You're going to be able to keep up to date with your credit restoration process, go in and look at these services and activate and utilize these services 24/7. So in addition to credit restoration that I just covered, we're also going to provide you with something called Credit Builder. It's going to give you an understanding of what affects your credit score overall and what you could do right now to increase your credit score, but most importantly, what you can do to manage your credit score and have the highest credit score possible for the rest of your life. We have a monthly budgeting tool, and this is so important because one of the reasons that people may have a lower credit score is because of those late payments. And what happens is they don't have enough money left over at the end of the month, and when they have an unexpected expense, of course they've got to pay that expense, and some bills go unpaid. So very, very important to have a monthly budget. Well, we give you a tool right through our UCES Protection Plan portal. We also have a tool to help you get out of debt. In other words, pay down especially that high interest debt so that you are not paying as much in interest and you can save more money, which is what? Going to help your budget. We also have credit attorneys. So if the credit bureaus don't remove what they're supposed to remove by law, the credit attorneys will step in and force them to do that. Also, another service they provide is if you're being harassed by creditors, debt collectors, they're going to step in and put an end to that. They'll also sue these creditors for money damages if necessary. We also have a savings goal tool, a net worth calculator, and one thing that's extremely valuable is our last will and living trust program. That's a tremendous value, and 90% of people don't have a will and living trust, and everyone needs to have one, especially if you have children. So those are the things that we're going to provide you to help increase your credit score outside of credit restoration, but also to monitor the progress of what's going on and to protect your identity. We're going to provide you with identity monitoring so that if you'll know if someone's trying to access your information. And the reason why that's so important is as you increase your credit score, you become a bigger target for identity thieves. We want to prevent identity theft from happening to you, so we provide you with this identity monitoring. Also, we're going to provide you with real-time online credit monitoring so you can see your credit score. You can see your items with all 3 credit bureaus. That's going to help you monitor the progress of what we're doing for you in the credit restoration process, but it's also going to be able to help you understand what your credit score is before you apply for credit. And we provide you with customer support both in English and Spanish Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 hours a day, 5 days a week. And most companies provide you with just credit repair, and they charge up to $100, maybe $125 a month. We provide you with credit repair and all the other services I told you about, including the identity monitoring, the online credit monitoring, for a one-time $99 activation fee and only $89 a month. A tremendous amount of value that we provide you. We also have other services outside the protection plan that for certain people are going to be extremely important. The first one is Credit My Rent. If someone rents a home or rents an apartment, we can take their on-time rental history going back up to 2 years and put it on their TransUnion credit report. And that starts for as little as $6.95 a month. We also have our first Progress Secured MasterCard. There's no credit history or minimum credit score required for approval, and it reports to all 3 credit agencies. Both of these services are going to help improve your payment history, the types of credit that you have, the length of your credit history, and new credit. 4 out of the 5 categories that affect your overall credit score. So now that you understand a lot more about credit repair, the credit repair process, the services we offer beyond just credit repair, what are your options moving forward? Well, you certainly could do nothing right now, but understand your credit's not going to fix itself. You have to take action to improve your credit score. The other thing to understand is paying off old debt does not remove it from your credit report. It's still going to stay on your credit report with a 0 balance, but as a negative item because you were delinquent at one time. So you're still going to need credit repair to remove it. You could try to do it yourself. Also understand this is very time consuming. You're going to need to learn how to do it, and know that the internet is not your friend. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to tell you how to do it for free, and certainly you could go through that process, but you've got to know what you're doing in order to have an effective result. You also must be willing to continually repeat the process for 6 months to a year. Simply disputing it one time may not get you the best results that you're looking for. You're certainly not going to have the other services we offer to help increase your credit score in those other 65% of categories, and you're not going to have the support of our experts. But either one of these options are certainly what you could do. But if you know you need to take action and you don't have the time and the energy to learn about credit repair and do that yourself over the course of 6 months to a year, and you just want a professional to step in and help you, and you are ready to get started with ERA Credit Services, here's some options for you. If you're watching this video on our website, click the Credit Repair tab at the top of the page, and that'll show you your options. You can call us and leave a message, you can book a phone appointment and we'll talk, or you can click the Enroll Now button and get yourself enrolled right away. If you're on our credit repair page, then you can see those options. Just scroll down from this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description below, and it's going to take you to eracreditservices.com to our credit repair tab, and you can see those options moving forward. Once again, you can call us, leave a message, you can put information into the contact form, and we'll contact you. You can book a phone appointment at a day and time that's convenient for you, or again, you can click the Enroll Now button and get started for a $99 activation fee and only $89 a month. We want to make this as easy for you as possible and know everybody has their own specific ways that they would like to be contacted. That's why we give you those options. So hopefully this was helpful for you, and you now at least understand credit repair at a higher degree. You understand what's on your credit report and the probability of getting those items removed, and you now know what we do beyond just removal of negative items to help you increase your credit score as much as possible. That's why mortgage companies, real estate companies, banks, solar companies, and automobile dealerships all over the country use us to help their clients. So was it groundbreaking? I think it is, because I've never seen a video like this before where a credit repair company tells you what they do. It seems like credit repair companies want to keep it a secret. I don't. I want to educate you. I want you to, again, make that informed decision whether credit repair is the right step for you to help you increase your credit score and change your financial future. And of course, if you like what we do and you don't want to do it yourself and take all that time and energy to learn everything, and you just want to get it done by a professional, we hope you'll call, or you can book a phone appointment and we'll call you at the date and time that you would like us to call you. So guys, I hope this really helped you. You educated yourself, and if credit repair is the right thing for you to do, you'll take that step today. Have yourself a great rest of your day.